The eagle eye of the Code of Conduct Bureau catches up with some assets declaration documents belonging to the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki. The Code of Conduct Bureau alleges that the Senate President has concealed necessary information about his assets as the governor of Kwara State. The Code of Conduct Tribunal, CCT, files a 13-count charge against him, which include failure to declare some assets he acquired while in office as governor, acquiring assets beyond his legitimate earnings, and operating foreign accounts while being a public office holder. The charge states that the offenses, which dates back to his days as governor of Kwara State, during which he served 2 4-year terms, violates sections of the 5th schedule of the Constitution and Section 2 of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act.
Most of these are frivolous.
Mr. Saraki must explain what he knows about the allegations. And so, a tribunal is set up to hear his side of the story and summons served.
That's my first application.
The Senate President dismisses the charges as false, frivolous, and politically motivated.
Most of these are frivolous, not true. It sounds like issues of defense. I mean, if you say a statement about 13 years he's been there, made my protocol over 2003, wake up 13 years later, and you wonder who is right, who is wrong. They are right or those who are not defense. I've always done my declaration. And defend those things. Just we'll continue to do our work.
You feel you're being witch-hunted because of your position?
There's no doubt about it that it is mischievous. It is not correct. The issues there are not true. And as far as we are concerned, we're not shaking. We focus on what we have come here to do. Elected by the people, elected by my colleagues, to work for what is within the interests of this country. And along the way, we'll do that work. And I think we should be. We thought these things like this had gone with this election.
The tribunal opens for business. The prosecutor and the defense counsel disagree on the summoning.
My application is to the fact that he is making the application he has no local standing to make. That's my first application. The Court of Appeal stated that where an accused person is charged before a court, as in this case, and that accused person challenge the jurisdiction of the court as well as the charge, he need not to be in court.
The issue is very narrow. Can you raise an objection in absence of your client? The law is very clear on it, my lord. My lord, the power to initiate criminal proceedings before any court of tribunal is not limited to the Attorney General alone.
The defendant cannot claim to be unaware of this action, having been duly notified. The defendant, as a top-ranking political officer of this country, is expected to respect the constitutional provisions which he has sworn to defend, and at the same time, knowing the obvious implications of breaching the laws of this country. In view of this tribunal will continue with these proceedings, and accordingly, in view of the non-appearance of the defendant respondent, the tribunal orders the Inspector General of Police or the relevant security agency involved to produce the defendant before this tribunal. In view of the foregoing, the tribunal hereby ordered for a bench warrant to be issued against the defendant.
Some of the issues you have raised are quite germane. And in view of that high responsibility that he bears, I would be asking your Lordship to stay with respect on the ground that he will himself appear in court on Monday. So there is no need to put him at loggerheads. I'm giving that undertaking from
Day after day, the tribunal awaits the Senate President's appearance to no avail. Saraki's lawyer queries the jurisdiction and constitution of the tribunal.
In view of that high responsibility that he
This
bears,
results to the exchange of legal fireworks.
My Lord, the rule of law will have to be maintained. He gave an undertaking that is going to produce him today. And that is why I urge my client not to arrest because of the undertaking by senior counsel.
On Friday, I intervened at a point to say that I would produce the accused on Monday, yes.
That's today.
I got a bit confused.
Okay.
You did not rule on it. You said it was noted. More fundamental issues have come up. Now, indeed, when I came in on Friday, my first question was, why were you sitting as two members when paragraph 15(1) says 3 consists the tribunal?
They came before your lordship this morning and said, no, the panel, we have filed an appeal. The panel is not properly constituted. My lord, how can they say, if the panel is not properly constituted, they have filed a motion before your lordship? My lord, from day one, they have been holding on to one position of the law. Say, the tribunal cannot even sit because there is no attorney general.
The application to stay proceedings in this matter due mainly to the filing of an appeal at the registry of the Court of Appeal is hereby refused. Accordingly, the Inspector General of Police, as we said earlier, and other security agencies are still in order to arrest and produce the accused person.
Mr. Saraki, who seems uncomfortable with the tribunal's order that he appears before it, had through his team of lawyers filed an ex parte motion for an injunction. Shortly after, the Justice Danladi Umar-led panel of the CCT insisted that he must be arrested and produced before the tribunal. His request is turned down by the Court of Appeal and the Federal High Court, both in Abuja.
Being a law-abiding citizen by the director of the CCB saying that one should be there tomorrow, I will be there. I have nothing to hide. One was exercising his own rights, both at the Federal High Court and at the Court of Appeal. And so we'll be there before the tribunal. The most important thing is that believe in the process and ensure that they're in the morning.
I had an interview session with Dr. Adelaja Odukoya, a senior lecturer of the Political Science Department at the University of Lagos. Dr. Odukoya believes the Senate President remains innocent until proven otherwise.
What we know is that people who want to lead us must be above all. And people who want to lead us must be accountable to us. And I keep on saying, why people talk about accountability, they forget that it's equally associated with what we call answerability. You must be able to call you at any point in time to answer for what you should do. It's not just about accounting. You must answer. So whether it's been done now, or 10 years after, or 15 years after, when you're in the public domain, you must know at every point in time there are issues. You could be called back to account. And that's what I think is playing itself out.